Hello everybody, welcome, my name is Ursa Ryan, and we're back in this rather unknown game. You may have heard of it, you may have seen it on your journeys through the internet. It's called Civilization 6. Today, I am here to continue practicing, to make amends. As a brief spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the Theodora series that went up previously and you want to see it before seeing this series, then I guess go see it now, you've been warned. Well, last series didn't go particularly well for me. I tried to make a religion, and the religion failed, and Theodora Byzantium with not a good religion turned into a bit of a catch-up game. No, today we are going to continue practicing, for it is getting cold, the nights are drawing in, well certainly in the northern hemisphere. You know, if you're in upside down land, maybe not. Looking at you, Curtin. And the arrival of the winter months mean only one thing, possible large charity multiplayer games. Which, and I'm going to caveat here because I feel like I did caveat last series and everyone got very excited and I needed to put a pinned comment in to, you know, dampen people's expectations. This is just a regular rules multiplayer game. We are not using BBG. It is not CPL, okay? That's why I'm not using BBG. I know that the CPL uses it. They're a wonderful league. They're very talented. They're brilliant. That's not what we're doing here. Not right now. It's going to leave that one hanging for a bit. Now, today we're going to be expanding on practicing my own multiplayer-esque meta. How am I going to do that today? Well, we have another 10-player map, not for any particular reason. This time, we are going to be playing on online speed because I was told by a lot of comments that, of course, it does make a big difference. And I know, I totally agree. I was simply playing on standard last time because last time I played on online speed, everyone got a bit grumpy. But, you know, today we're going to be playing on it for good reason. And I've also knocked the difficulty down 2 levels back to regular deity. Why is that? Well, the AI was playing so well that it was actually affecting the way I played the game. I ended up needing to go total domination in order to actually get a foothold into the game, and really I want to practice a isolationist peaceful playthrough. So today we are going to be trying to go no war, defensive wars and liberations only, keep to myself, do my thing, play really well. That's the aim anyway. Barb clans enabled. We're playing with better balanced maps today, and I am playing the Rich Highlands map, which is quite fun and often gets used. So the spawn will look a little bit more balanced, favorable. Enter all of the above. Who really knows? And I'm playing with Ludwig, one of my favorite civs of the game. You're going to be seeing me play with a lot of civs that I quite enjoy playing. Civs that just work with my style of play. Hansa, swans that definitely haven't flown away from giant pies, 3 imperial cities. Yes, I know the U-boat exists, but we all forget about that. Let's be honest. Germany. What a civilization to play. One of my favorites. But that's the plan. City sim, online speed, peaceful. Can I play well? Can I practice my metas? Can I do Germany proud? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's get started. Haha, psych. I meant to also say that you should come to Discord because the save file is there and all the mod list you need. Okay, now I'm going to play. Turn 1. Look at this start. Plains, hills everywhere. I've even got stone on a grassland hill. Now, in the depths of my memory, because it doesn't happen very often on this channel, I think if I settle on it, I will get the production underneath the capital. So it will be a 2-2 tile. But obviously this tile and this tile would both work as well. We're complicated slightly by the fact that there seems to be a lot of wheat in this direction, so we'll head out here, and that is a lake, not a coast. Interesting. That's good for freshwater purposes. Now, I'm a little bit torn here. I think I am going to turn to settle because I'd like the extra production under my capital, under the city center. But the question is, do I want to go to this tile or do I want to go to this tile? Argument for tile number 1. It puts us into range of 1, 2, 3 wheat tiles on the second ring. Once we get down to the watermill, suddenly that's a bunch of extra food for the capital. In fact, we actually would still be in range of this rice as well. However, in the immediate ring, there's only 1, 2 tiles. They're not very good. Argument 2 for going this way is a 2-2 tile. So there's something that I could work very quickly. However, the rest of the tiles that I can see, they're not as good. However, there are good tiles on the second ring. I'm thinking that if I was to settle there, then I could in theory put a city next to the floodplains, next to the lake. I'm being pulled in this direction perhaps. Looks like there's 2 mountains. In fact, actually, I could probably look at the appeal of this tile and work out whether or not that's likely to be a mountain or not. It's saying not at the moment, but I don't know if it's giving me full information. I think it is, so this is probably open terrain. So these are going to be 2-2 campuses. There is a nice campus there. It's not enough. I think I am going to go in this direction. It's going to reveal a bunch of the map for me, and there was a 2-2 tile there. All right, so we got a little bit lucky. I will take that as a settle. And thus, the capital of Munich. Actually, there's furs there and a sheep. Okay, this definitely turned out to be the better settle. I would have had the sheep on the second ring on this tile as well. So it would have ended up being better after maybe turn 20 or so, but right now this is absolutely the better capital. And dear audience, you know by now that I have some wonderful channel supporters on Patreon and Ko-fi. They help to support the channel. They help me to do what I do, the thing that I love to do. Their support is amazing. So thank you so much for everything you do. I like to name my cities after you. So congratulations and welcome to the wonderful Plinty. Now we're working a pretty good tile right now. I'm going to go for what I think is a pretty classic multiplayer start, which is to go into Scout, and then we need to make a bit of a decision as I move over in this direction. Okay, that makes the decision for me. That is the astrology boost. I was going to say to you, I don't know whether to go for a religion today. If you avoid going for a religion, obviously the entire religion game is taken away from you, but it means you don't faff around with it, and it means you can take other people's religions and you can go, hey, someone spread feed the world to me. I will use that myself or whatever. However, you can't stop anyone winning a religious victory. So it's kind of, you take some, you lose some. But it means you're focused on other districts. So I could put more commercial hubs and campuses and encampments and Hansa and all this sort of stuff down without needing the holy site slot. However, I have 3 arguments for a religion in this particular game. Firstly, it's already been boosted, so that's good. Secondly, Germany has 1 extra district in every city. So I effectively have a spare district in my capital to have a bit of a play. So we will go for the holy site. Thirdly, on online speed, which is twice as fast as regular standard speed, there is still a little bit of a quirk with great people. Now this is well known, but I'll explain it to people that haven't seen this, and it's all about city projects. On standard speed, once you have a holy site, you can do holy prayers as a project. You run it, it gives you about 13 to 15 great people points. It means basically that on standard speed you need 60 profit points, you end up running about 4 of those projects and you can rush a religion. However, that is not the case on online speed because I only need 30 points, not 60. You may go, oh, Ursa, well in that case you'll probably only get half of the great people points as you do on standard speed. No, you get the same great people points. So effectively, each project is worth twice as many great people points as it normally is. So it's instantaneously rushable. So I trust myself, I back myself to get that rush. So we're going to go for it. And my warrior is going to do a bit of a lazy loop. Rich Highlands is a basically landlocked map, so we shouldn't have any problems finding a bunch of stuff. But I'm going to do a nice little loop of the capital just in case barbarians appear. Look at all this rainforest. This is so choppable. Oh, lovely. That's a really good pantheon. If I decided to go for reeds and marshes, you know how much I love reeds and marshes. Let's now travel along the river and see what can happen. Reeds and marshes, anyone? Oh, I think I know exactly what I'm going to be going for. I just can't help myself. The camps pantheon would be good. I've got a deer and a furs, and there's more furs over here. So that would be worth quite a bit, but you know I like reeds and marshes. Gonna squeeze out a second scout quickly. Normally, going for a fast monument is really clever in multiplayer because it lets you go for the government plaza quicker, it lets you go for the governor titles, it lets you go for extra policy slots into your government, and all the way to the meta-inducing feudalism, which everyone likes to go for serfdom. However, I'm playing Ludwig, which means I can kind of make myself monumentless and still get over culture, because even if I put wonders down, unfinished wonders, they will still get me a ton of culture per turn. So we'll play with that for a little bit. Just means I can focus on districts, getting a religion, getting settlers, all of the good stuff, you know? So population 2, and we're now working this 3-1-1 tile. Fantastic. Keep heading in this way. I mean, it looks like we are in Marsh Central. My goodness, the settlement over here would be absolutely swamped with marsh. You go down in this direction, Mr. Scout. You continue following this river. Again, even more. All right. If that's what you want to do, I guess that's fine. Oh my goodness. Is he going to do it? Is the madman going to do it? Am I going to squeeze another scout out? A third scout? It's a Highlands map. It's basically landlocked. So you know I'm going to. There is a barb actually. Let's keep an eye on him as I send my scout out in this direction. I'm going to actually do little loops around my land. Try and keep fairly logical scouting routes if I can. No city-states around me at the moment. Let's now go immediately for animal husbandry. See if there are any sources of horses. changes, and let's think about what I want to do with my holy site. One thing I do know is that Stonehenge is going to immediately be put down. I'm probably not going to build Stonehenge, but just by placing it means that I go from 1.5 culture to 3.5. Excellent. Oh, I love Ludwig. Ludwig is so much fun. If I was to build my holy site in one of the tiles next to it, that would turn it to a +4 culture, which is quite good, which is the better tile for my holy site. The mountain is the more permanent yield boost. I mean, +1 on that. I'm not necessarily going to go for work ethic, but you do want to get a little bit of faith if you can. Then again, it is on a river, which means it might, in the late game, compete a little bit with Hansa, Aqueduct, and Commercial Hub placement. I think river tiles are going to have to be very greedily held for all of my German districts, so I'm actually going to go for this tile. Both could be argued. Let's lock in the production, and then we'll finish that next turn. Now, this is a game where I'm going to continue to say, I don't normally do this, but I have 3 scouts out, so survey it is. I don't normally do that. And I also don't normally do this, but I'm going to be getting a Pantheon by rushing holy site projects. I'm not going to go for God King. I'm in fact going to go for urban planning instead. That will help me to finish my holy site just a little bit faster, and it will help me to get myself sorted that little bit quicker. This scout? Well, if I'm sending this one into the woods in this direction, I'm going to go down in this direction, and then this scout's going to go up, and this one will go round. Let us unlock foreign trade. We're going to see if we can ride those boosts, make sure we're not wasting any science or culture. You can see we're going to work this extra 2-2 tile. Amazing. The holy site has now gone to 2 turns. That's an amazingly good start. Oh, I mean, I forget I'm on online speed. I always forget I'm online speed. I'm like, hey, look, the production of my city is crazy. But no, of course, it's because I'm just moving quicker. City state found, Mohenjo-Daro, and it's the first meet, which means I get +1 culture. Now, that would be an interesting city state because it would mean I could settle anywhere I wanted to and ignore fresh water. Well, providing I hold on to it. That's always the big caveat with that city state. What is it about practice games and being stuck next to Eleanor of Aquitaine? This time the English version. Honor to meet you. Yeah, let's exchange information on capitals. London is up to the north. And there is a scout. Let's actually fight that for 8 experience. I'm going to level these scouts up as quickly as possible. You know what I really am missing? Tribal villages. Haven't had any of those yet. Animal husbandry. Did I get sources of horses? Yes, I got at least 1. Got more than that. 1, 2, 3. Ah, there's loads of sources of horses. Amazing. Now let's go for writing. No, actually, no, we're going mining first and then into pottery and then writing. My holy site is finished, which means my beautiful, wonderful Stonehenge is now giving me 4 culture, which I still find absolutely hilarious. I mean, I could try and build it out is the funny thing, but I'm not going to. Let's instead rush my religion. Just a quick note, James St. George is the first engineer, which is really bad for me. I would want Imhotep, ideally, because he's amazing at wonders, or a Theodore, but the scientist is quite good, which makes me actually want to rush this +1 library science. That's a really good modifier for the rest of the game. Foreign trade. Ah, boosted. Done. Nice. Craftsmanship. Okay, we've still got urban planning. I think urban planning is still good for me. I think these cards are all still good. We'll go for craftsmanship briefly, and we'll work out where to go from there. Who really knows? Oh, tribal village. Although it appears to be next to possibly Spain. Well, that could be a bunch of trouble. Spain is always hyper aggressive, especially when it comes to religion. Now, check out what I mean about the Holy Site project. You see that? 13 points, exactly the same as on standard speed, but I only need 2 of them rather than 4. So in 2 turns, we should pretty much have a religion. Now, this tribal village is mine. It's Inca. I got the colors slightly wrong. Hello, honor to meet you. There is your city up against the mountains. I guess that sort of checks out. I got a builder. Oh, I got a builder. Amazing. Right, let's go down to early empire then and see the tiles that I'm working. I could get gold, or extra production. Let's go and get the extra production first. I don't think I'm going to go for happiness level. I might. No, let's go get the pass. Yep. My scout has a well-deserved level. Alpine, I always think is better. Now this warrior, I am going to start moving back to my capital. I don't want to leave it exposed if possible. Horseback riding, the first boost. Now we're going to go and work that Thurs. I think I will go for the deer as well. A bit of gold is a good thing to have. Another continent over in this direction. So we're on Pangaea Ultima, because I am the ultimate Civ player, of course, he says with absolute modesty. And we've got Kamari over to my right and Raresia, or as I pronounce it, Laurasia, the well-awaited collaboration between the singer Sia and some random lady called Laura. That's a second cultural city-state. I'm going to try and read the lay of the land a little bit more in this game as well. If the city-states are pushing me in one direction rather than another, I'm not saying I'm going to ignore that, you know? I might just follow the call of the city-state to see what they want to deliver me. So that was a project. We now have 2 more points to get. I don't think think I want to wait for that prayer to finish. I think I'm just going to let this tick over by itself. Any trade routes available to me? 3 gold and an envoy to Mohenjo-Daro. Oh, but only a 3-turn settler as well. I don't have the governor yet, which means I would lose population. Do I want to take that gamble? I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. Otherwise, I'm just going to be hovering around the same amount of cities for ages. And I think I forgot to turn the deity AI onto the no advantage at the start of the game mode. Instead, it's getting its usual shenanigan bonuses of just getting loads of cities and stuff. So it's all good. Early Empire, I've got the craftsmanship is ready to get boosted as well. Let's go mysticism quickly. Try and kill this scout. You're not going to leave here alive. You probably will. That's a total lie. Tribal village. +1 governor title in a tribal village. Whoa. I do not remember the last time I got a governor title in a tribal village. That's amazing. All right. Do I go for Magnus? Actually, I could go for Magnus and then just wait 3 turns and not lose the population in the capital. Or I could go Amani Tour. I mean, Amani Tour is really tempting, but I'm going to go for Magnus because I feel like this opportunity is unique. Right. I'm just going to delay this. Or do I delay it? No, we're going to just grind through the early empire, which I was going to wait for that boost. But that means I'll get the second promotion, which will be provision. And then I can start just turbocharging settlers out almost from the beginning of the game. This is great. Instead, there looks like another barb camp coming from the south. I do have this warrior coming back, but I don't want to get overrun. So let's get a slinger quickly. Which way is he going to go? Bear tree. Where are you, bear tree? Where is the tree? There are lots of trees. Which ones do the bears live in? Tell me. Tell me, I demand it. Lady of the Reeds and Marshes is still available. It doesn't give my capital any benefit, but look at all of this and all of this and all of this. I think it just opens up so much of the map to me. I could get a 3 builder. Goddess of the Hunt is still quite a good option. There are quite a few camps around me. I just think, yeah, Reeds and Marshes, it just opens up the map, which is exactly what I want to do. And here is my religion. Oh my goodness. Justice for Byzantium, because now I get the choice of all of the things I wanted. I think Germany Feed the World is brilliant because what you're effectively doing is giving a civilization that doesn't need a lot of population because it can produce loads of districts, more population, which means that it can produce more districts. And I'm also then getting faith, which I can then use for things like monumentality, great people rushing. It's the side of Germany that often is underused. It also means that if I wanted to go for a culture victory, I've got that faith income nicely. This would be quite a rogue choice. 2 science, culture, gold, and faith for every city following this religion that has a world wonder. How many wonders am I going to build as Ludwig? When I get Hansa, probably quite a few, but not reliably so. That's really tempting to go for. I do like that as an option. I don't have the confidence to rock it, you know? I don't have the confidence. Gold or science? Gold or science? What do I do? Gold worked so well for me last time. I'm employing a no trade rule on this game. Like, I am not trading with the AI at all. Just in case you wondered why I hadn't sold my sources of horse yet, you can make the AI a lot easier if you do that. I'm practicing for multiplayer. I'm not trading at all. If the AI offers me random trades, I'll look at them, but I am not initiating any trades myself. I'm just trying to practice becoming a little bit more self-sufficient when it comes to playing. It's not the single player meta, but it's just a little bit of a different way of looking at the game if you're practicing for multiplayer. There's Early Empire. I think it's probably a little early to get that, but there is Settlers. Magnus will be established in 3 turns. I'm just going to move over to try and get the Thurs in a couple of turns. I've now got the Slinger who's going to go over in that direction. There's a 1-turn Settler. I'm not going to change this over right now because we've still got some really easy boosts. Let's just quickly get Mysticism. A 1-turn Trader is good. I will pick up the 3 trade route with Mohenjo-Daro, or the 3 Envoy, I should say. Early suzerains always help. Besides, if the trader gets pillaged, what are you going to do? It's fine. I just get to put a new one down. Norway is over here. That's fine. Norway's ages away from me. All of these scouts are highly annoying though. Kind of tells me that they've scouted in these areas already and they found a bunch of stuff. Auckland. Already been met? Of course it has. Never mind. Mohenjo-Daro. 3 gold. Hey, look, it's just early game gold. It's all good. We've got Feed the World, which means I now need to get the Shrine. And then we're going to go for Settler Spam. Barb Camp. Hire a galley. If I need the era score, that is something. But again, Highlands map. Unlikely to be useful. Gorgo. Honor to meet you. Where are you? Over in this direction. Okay. We may find ourselves getting a little bit squidged in, but I'm sure we'll find a way. Oh, Slinger kill. Bam, archery boost. That's a handy boost. That's always a good one to have. And there's the craftsmanship boost. Now we're going to go for state workforce for 1 turn, and then I'm going to flip to mysticism and switch it next turn because I want to put the settler card in. I think the closest pressure I've got is over towards the Incan lands. There's a bit of mountains over here. I don't know how I'm going to be playing today. I think I'm going to just lean into Ludwig's abilities just to touch, and we're going to go for lots of Hansa and lots of commercial hubs, which means that we're going to be hitting for rivers. I don't have many rivers. They're all in this direction and up to my north, but I need to settle to the right of my capital. If I don't, this area could possibly be stolen, and I don't like that. Right, one turn done, mysticism. We'll swap to that. And I'm going to use my early game gold, either to get a monument for 2 culture, or to go for another builder. I want to go for the builder because I'd like my capital to be production focused, and that will very much help it. Yerevan, not first meet on that either. Ooh, boring. Writing. Mysticism. In goes the settler card. Survey is still doing me good for once. Let's go to state workforce, and we're going to start settler spam now. My first envoy is actually going to go towards Mohenjo-Daro because I would like the suzerain for the 2 era score, and there's a tribal village down there. Oh, okay. I'm going to see if I can get my slinger to get that in the next 8 turns. We need 3 more era score. I should get 3 era score. I'm hoping. I've still got a couple of turns. All we need to do is find a couple of individuals on the map, something like that. Here's the thing. Do I put off my settler rush in order to build Etamananki? It's very tempting. I'm actually going to second city Etamananki. This is the city for it. It works well with my religion, or my pantheon, I should say. You can see Feed the World is already kicking Clint into action, which is fantastic to see. And we're going to start unlocking wonders now. Temple of Artemis time. I do have camps in my capital, so I can pop it down. In fact, I'm actually just going to go and harvest for wheat because I think the Temple of Artemis would actually go really well on that tile anyway. Oh man, I really want Imhotep. Not the game for Imhotep, unfortunately, but I would really like Imhotep. State workforce. In fact, if we do a little bit of cutting here, I could put state workforce maybe on this tile and improve the holy site, or we can go for somewhere that's going to be similar to where my campus might be. I still think this is probably a good campus tile. Should be doing a little bit more chopping. I think a lot of my early game gold is going to go on builders in my capital, but I don't mind that. I think that's a decent move. Amani, let's start the tour. Let's start over in Yerevan. Political philosophy in 5 turns. We're going to get that in this era. Okay, well, in that case, we will absolutely get a golden age, although Peter is just appearing himself now. Honored to meet you. That guarantees the golden age. The Barbs are having a big old scrap, which isn't great for my tribal village hunting. It's quite treacherous wading in here. One archer unit. Oh, I needed one of those for Yerevan. That will actually help my tour. That's a really good purchase. There we go. We've actually got some more defense around my lands. Perfect. I'm no longer suzerain Mohenjo-Daro. Who is that? Of all the ones to go for, Gorgo. I think that's just mean. That's just mean, but never mind. Irrigation boosted. Not a very good one for me. Aztec found. Honored to meet you. I'm moving this settler over. I'm going to settle on top of the stone. Not because it gives me any benefit, but I do want to work as many of these marshes as possible as quickly as possible. So I'm heading over in this direction. In fact, I've actually picked up quite a few wonders now that I could place. Temple of Artemis, I should have put that down. It's tempting just to let that one run through, isn't it? This could be a really good Pingala city. An oracle. I'm going to place oracle down as well. Work on another settler. This time we're going to go and settle closer to this river and towards the wonder. We'll go and get those furs. And here we go. This is where the pantheon begins to make a lot of sense. 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. Amazing. Quite a relevant name, this one. Lady of the Reeds and Marshes. Again, thank you for your support. 37 turn Etamananki. We can probably chop that out, I think. I do have a stone, a wood. There's a lot of choppable tiles around here. Yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to give it a good go. Well, of course, I can't chop tile because I haven't got masonry yet. I always forget about the masonry chop. Such a weird one. Fine, we'll get the boost for now. It gives me another production. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to make this my Pingala capital. So we're going to go settler and then into Temple of Artemis. I'm actually just going to build it. And then what I'm going to do is this settler, I'm going to divert up to this river up here with all this marsh. And then this is going to become my Magnus hub. And this will be where I chop out my settlers. Feels like a strange strategy because it is. But hey, it works for me. Probably. And there's political philosophy. I could wait on era score, but I don't think there's any need right now. My capital is slightly unhappy, so this makes even more sense to go for the wonderful classical republic, my favorite government. Still got the settler card in. Diplomatic league goes in as well. Urban planning and builders. All of those things. Gonna sync up my archer and settler. Just save it one turn. I don't feel like that was a safe settler in any way. Oh, I should have put the wonder card in. That would have been the better thing to do. Never mind. Switch over with military tradition. civilization. Woolen, not a first meet. Why is no one a first meet? Come on, give old Ursa something. Yerevan bows to me. That means I can make my apostles in any way I want, which is always quite fun. And I can buy myself another archer from this barb clan, which I absolutely will do because I think it's going to immediately become under threat. This settler, well, only got one luxury and it's furs. This city will go up to the north and we'll be able to get some whales. This city has no luxuries apart from some coffee ages away. So maybe if I've got a city there, I've got a city down here. Let's go and settle towards that coffee down here. And coffee and tea in one city. Oh, and all this mush. Okay, well, yeah, the coffee's clearly the right tile to settle there. I forget when you don't trade for luxuries, you have to really go and find them yourself. It's so weird. Here is the golden age. So 3 inquiry is really good when you have commercial hubs and harbors. It's by far one of the best policies that you can get. However, this is a big however, I have no commercial hubs at the moment. So I think we're going to go monumentality. I think that because I believe my religion will probably spread by itself soon enough. I hope we can get a single missionary. If not, I mean, Exodus would help with that. Monumentality will absolutely help me to get my builder so that I can chop out reeds and marshes. Why are you working that tile and not Vista? Sometimes the tiles they work are really odd. That's 3 extra turns. I don't know why that was working that. That's so strange. Yeah, monumentality. Now I can go for a builder with some faith. We'll just get 1 missionary. A single missionary should be all we need. And we can chop that out nicely. And settlers, I'm not going to be producing many of those for a bit. Let's instead go for corvée. Then currency, horseback riding, apprenticeship, because we want to unlock our Hansa as fast as possible. Don't forget as well, we have holy sites that give us food. I haven't forgotten about those. Feed the world is super important for me. Oh, that was a tribal village there. Nice. Let's see if we can find that. Who needs a natural environment when Etamananki is here? Not me, that's who. Bam. Let's get this thing chopped out fast. I mean, this is quite tempting, is to attack and kill for a settler, but I'm going to avoid the temptation because I'm practicing. And I don't want to cause a diplomatic scene with somebody who's likely to get 400 military strengths of barbarian berserkers heading my way. Or not barbarians, vicious Vikings, you know what I mean. Whatever they are, they're not pleasant. I actually realized I haven't got Apadana down in this city. I don't have space for it. That's really funny. I don't know where that barb is going, but he's being mysterious. Just switch around my government temporarily, put discipline in, because I have a feeling about to get into a bit more of a scrap with some barbarians here. Don't mind me whilst I steal another tile. Give Clint even more food. Magnus getting good usage here. And then there's going to be city number 3 and city number 4. Now, I got both of these cities before I was able to get the 3 builder, but no matter. We'll be getting that soon before we get the next bunch. In the city to the north, my new settler city is El Truand, and down in Aachen is Choco Gamer. Both have really good marshes to work that my cities are still refusing to work for some strange reason that I can't quite comprehend. Start with the holy site in this city. And in this city, I think I'd like to start with the government plaza as soon as possible. So I'm just going to have to get rid of a random forest tile for, but hey, you got to smash a few eggs to make an omelet, and El Truand is going to make a bunch. 1 more chop. Nice. Tribal village. Games and recreation boosted. Construction. Oh, cool. It's actually quite a difficult boost to get. My seas are unprotected. Oh no, I technically do actually have 1 sea. Fair play. Fair play to him for once. Norway's actually telling the truth. Never did I think I'd see the day. Oi, did you just sit on that tile to stop me getting the wonder? That is so mean. They did that deliberately, I swear. They absolutely did that deliberately. Luckily, the production actually does stack. I've got 20 production and the monument costs 30 and it's going to 1 turn it. So you don't lose the production. It's just delayed me by a turn because it's being very rude. Okay, you're now really starting to tempt me now. Please stop following my scout around with a settler. Don't you do it as well. AI is just like, how can we really tempt Ursa here? Temple of Artemis. Each camp, pasture, and plantation improvement within 4 tiles of the wonder receives 1 immunity. Plus, the city itself gets a bunch of food and some more housing. Actually, I was going to move Magnus, wasn't I? You go over to here. This is going to be a Clint AE Pingala city, I believe. Let's now get some districts down. Have we got any like crazy preserves we could put down? I've had a couple of games recently where I've been like, you know what? Preserves would be really cool. Kind of, but kind of not. Nothing that I would write home about. Let's go for the 2-turn campus. That's pretty cool. Oh, we've already up to Renaissance era science scientists. You know what? I feel like the AI might have jumped on that one a little bit. And Etamananki, 2 science, 1 production to all marsh tiles in the Empire. This is a giga move for me. This absolutely is going to rock my world. 20 science per turn we've got coming in now. We've got 2 marsh tiles being worked in Reeds and Marshes. We've got 2 tiles being worked in El Truand, and we'll be soon to have a bunch worked over there as well. It's only Clint. Weirdly, Clint is the city that doesn't have the science. Maybe actually Clint isn't the Pingala city. Maybe it's Reeds and Marshes, but it's the population that I'm going to have over here rather than 15%. Don't know. We'll sit on it for a bit. We'll think about it. Well, we don't need Corvée and Discipline anymore. Let's instead put settlers and builders. Do I even need settlers? I don't know if I do. I'm going for writers. Kind of someone is a little bit going for writers. No point going for scientist generals. I could get Hannibal. It's just good to have a general around potentially in case somebody decided to attack me. No, instead, take out Corvée, put in colonization, and then we'll put in maneuver. Then I can actually build a horseman unit in 2 turns. Keep myself a little bit safer. Yerevan has been taken as well. All right, Amani Tour might as well disappear to somewhere else then. Let's go to the newly found Wulin. Maybe I'll find something fun there. But Wulin wanted a bronze working boost, which is there. There you go, done. Oh no, hang on. It wasn't that. It was the iron working boost he wanted. Build an Iron Man. We haven't found that yet. Give me a break. Give me a break for era score. I didn't get any other boosts, unfortunately. Sometimes the barb camps can give you some really cool boosts. Not this time, alas. A beautiful +3 era score campus. Delicious, up to 27 science per turn. I mean, Inca does have 61, so let's not think about that too hard. But still, that is a good find for us. Oracle, I did kind of put down somewhere a little bit annoying. Like, that could have been a mistake from me, but Hansa could go there. Commercial hub could go there. Yeah, that's the commercial hub space, isn't it? I see it now. Do I chop it out? Is it worth chopping it out? Nah, let's just do it anyway. We've got 70 faith, which I was waiting for. Let's just quickly get the missionary before my cities get too big. They might get too big in a second and they won't convert. It does happen and it's very annoying. Quick dip into bronze working and then into irrigation, and then we'll go to apprenticeship. We'll go for defensive tactics because we're almost at feudalism. Once we're at feudalism, we can start builder spamming. 5 charge builders, which of course is always shouted to be one of those metas that you must always go for. Always, regardless of whether you want to or not. You're mandated to. It's a legal requirement, I say. It's probably not the most efficient thing to do. I'm going to build a holy site there because it gives me 2 more culture because it's next to my wonder. And let's get another source of horse. We'll go and get an iron mine maybe as well. Or did I mention I'm actually settled on some iron? Look at that. Just a most wonderful city. 30 faith as well. Oh, that's really good because that means we can actually think very soon about getting a builder in. Yeah, 45 faith. It's actually accelerated us quite a few turns, huh? Indonesia. Hello, wanted to meet you. Let's exchange information on capitals. Great. Just great stuff. Kamasi changes everything. Kamasi changes everything. All right, now we're going to actually try and get trade routes set up only to city-states. I was thinking about making a bunch of internal trade routes. You know how I feel about internal trade routes? I know they're good, but they just don't have the same satisfying pop. Kamasi is one of the city-states that just changes everything because now I found Kamasi. My trade route has gone from 3 gold to 5 gold for culture. So suddenly, now trading with Mohenjo-Daro and other city-states is hugely important. So much so, Amani, you're going to stop touring and you're just going to sit in Kamasi. We want to keep this. Dido. Dido has appeared. And Rome. We found like everyone in the same turn. Wanted to meet everyone. In fact, we met everyone first. 5 era score. Huzzah! Oh, brilliant. I was thinking about putting provision into my Magna city to send all of my internal trade routes there, but I don't need that anymore. Instead, we're going to actually go with what I thought we should do from turn 1, which is Pingala into my 10 population capital. Population 10 on turn 40. I mean, I don't know what the meta is, but that feels pretty good. You know, that just feels good. That feels right. That feels like a bit of yum. Now, let's go for the Ancestral Hall, and we'll start to chuck delicious settlers out of this city. I need 3 mines, though. How many mines have I got down? Do I have any mines? Have I actually put any mines down? I haven't. Have I not put any mines down? Okay, right. That can get boosted quite quickly. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, The Nickerman, Daddy Bear Todd, Toon General, Civilized, Capoyobi Virani, The Uncivil Engineer, Lillian, Radiatore, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Mixomatosis, MTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy's Ursa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Flying Dutch Burbs, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Frankincense Battlezord, Bookaluke79, Bob Loblaw, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Hal Carnassus, Morax, Sinikush, Echobear, Deja Fu, Kovuwu, Legally Trash, Is This Live, Twin Cam Inferno, Martin S, Minnow, Sorted Dutch, Rad Bickley, Shadow of Gaia, Flower Power Bear, Poppy Dude, Dan Jamo. Thank you everyone for your support. Goodbye!